Hey guys, happy Friday to everybody. Situational mastery practice today as far as special teams go, and was good work. We also did our end of game situations for offense and defense, some of those situations that can win or lose a game for you. Obviously we'll have Salute to Troy tonight, which is always exciting to be a bunch of Trojan fans out here, Trojan family out tonight. It's great to be able to have that, have a great scrimmage tomorrow, and then break camp and have our mock game week next week. With that, I'll answer any questions that you got.
Based on what happens tomorrow, is there a chance that you could choose a starting quarterback next week?
Again, Adam, like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. It'll be more of a feel, and only having played in one preseason game, I'd like to get through this second one, evaluate where we are, and then if we need a third, we'll take a third. But I don't have a crystal ball on that. I just want those kids to continue to progress. All three of them need to get to be game ready. All three of them will run with the ones tomorrow, and we'll see where we're at. After two preseason games, we still got the mock game next Saturday. So for me, it's status quo. Continue to keep progressing them, and when it feels like there's a definite separation, then I'll make that decision.
You said if, though, so if you need a third week, it's a possibility.
You can anticipate a third week. Yeah. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Okay.
All right.
What has JT done throughout camp to separate himself from the other two quarterbacks?
Well, he hasn't separated himself yet. They're all competing right now. To be honest, Matt Fink had a tremendous week this week. Very proud of him. We go through the first scrimmage game, first preseason game, and obviously the storyline was JT Daniels. He did a phenomenal job in that game. But then, just like every good quarterback, they come back and compete, and Matt Fink competed exceptionally well. And so I look forward to watching all three of them tomorrow, let them continue to compete, and then we'll see where we're at.
Is your rep breakdown going to be the same? Is your rep breakdown going to be the same?
Yeah, you're going to get the exact same scrimmage that you got, the exact same preseason game you had last week. So each one of them are going to get 2 full drives. Each one of them is going to get a 2-minute segment to be able to show what they can do in situational mastery. It really gave us a good view last week. We'll do the same thing.
How have you seen Isaiah Langley's growth throughout camp?
He's done good. I think primarily a lot of it is because, one, he's a senior, there's a sense of urgency, but two, he's got a guy pushing him. Greg Johnson is right behind him, and that level of competition, when you got a young, talented guy right behind you pushing you, raises your game up. So it's good to be able to see those two kids go at each other.
Are there any specific areas of his game that you've seen kind of improve?
I think his overall knowledge of the system. One of the great things about having coordinators be here for 3 years straight on all phases is your knowledge of the game and your knowledge of the system. So you don't have to change terminology, you don't have to change scheme, and you don't see a lot of assignment bus right now by our secondary, which is nice.
You still plan to meet with the quarterbacks after the scrimmage?
Just like I did the first week, Joey. My plan is, and I did this previously in other competitions, I like to know clarity at the end of each preseason game, to know exactly where you're at, what your strengths are, and what you really need to focus on, and what we need to see in the upcoming week. I did that this past week. I'll do it again on Monday when we get back, and we'll see where we're at then.
How do you think they responded since the last session we had with them?
I thought Matt did a tremendous job, to be honest with you. He sat down, he has a lot of passion, and so does Jack, as far as, really wanted to compete. And we were able to give all three quarterbacks exactly what they needed to work on. And you see evidence of being able to say, wow, okay, Coach wants me to focus on that. I did. And I thought all three quarterbacks improved this week.
What are some things that you were hoping to see from JT this week that you told him to focus on?
For me, it was pocket movement and not being a stationary target back there. And even in the 2-minute drill yesterday, I thought he did a wonderful job of moving in the pocket with a lot of pressures that Clancy was bringing. So, I've never wanted to leave a player in the dark. I've always be brutally honest with them, tell them what they're doing good, tell them their strengths, but really let's focus on the area of growth you need to focus on to be the best quarterback or player that you can be.
Do you guys know what the progress is with Porter?
Porter's doing really, really well. He ran 13 miles an hour today at 90% on the Alter G. He is going to get running on the turf, on the grass next week. as far as full speed running. He'll do change of direction next week, as well as some sled work, and then we'll see after that week where we're at for game 1.
What do you want to see from Matt and Jack in the scrimmage?
I think for all 3 quarterbacks, I don't want to just single them out. I want to be able to see, one, good decision making. First of all, getting the ball out on time. I thought in that first, like I said, in that first preseason game, I thought we held on to the ball too long, especially early in that game, and it caused some sacks. I want them to make a full speed decision, either pull the ball down and run, or get rid of it and move on to the second down, but move on to the next down. That's probably my biggest focus, is have a sense of urgency to make a full speed decision, make sure it's the correct decision, and live with it. I look forward to seeing how they do.
Do you feel like competition often brings out the best in these kind of players? Yeah.
No question. And it's really twofold. You know, you have the competition at your position, but then you have the competition of going good on good out here, which is makes a player better. I watched 2 great players in Juju Smith and Adoree Jackson go head to head each and every day, and now you're seeing that out here with Tyler Vaughns and Biggie Marshall. I mean, there's 2 future pros in my mind going to play on Sunday, and those guys are getting better because they're competing against each other. So competition is great. Those guys may be the best they see all year against each other. You know, so it's great to have it in your own position room, but it's also great to have it across for you, and that's the beauty of SC.
Is there any concern that whoever is named the starter hasn't had enough reps with the first team due to rotation?
I think they've had a lot of reps. As you've seen, we've actually got some sore arms out there. As you can tell, they get a lot of throws in this. And, you know, as we get to game week, that opening game week, obviously, you know, we're going to have to go with a quarterback and give that player more reps going into game 1. You know, so it is something that I think they're getting adequate reps. I think we've done a good job with the 2 spots, the walk through 2 spots. We're giving them the ability to not only learn the offensive system, but what the expectations are. Okay. All righty, guys. Thank you.